If you're selling high ticket offers such as 10K, 25K, or 50K, you know that the sales process is completely different from selling low ticket products. High ticket buyers don't impulse purchase, they don't buy after seeing one post. They need to truly trust you deeply and understand the value clearly and really believe that you can actually deliver the transformation. Now, the challenge is that most LinkedIn strategies are designed for volume and not necessarily with that focus on premium and quality. So they're designed to attract hundreds of leads, but not necessarily a handful of perfect fit clients. And so when you try and use only volume-based strategies to sell high ticket offers, you'll find that they don't tend to work because you'll end up attracting tire kickers, price shoppers, and people who aren't actually ready to invest at that type of level. So throughout the course of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use LinkedIn to sell high ticket offers. I'll walk you through 3 core strategies designed for more premium sales, strategies that can really build trust, demonstrate exceptional value, and attract clients who are ready to invest 10K, 25K, 50K, or even more. And it's really the same types of strategies that I've leveraged to build an organic following on the platform of over 55,000 followers, along with 10 million impressions that I drove just last year alone, with some of our client accounts, as you can see here, generating over 70 million impressions, with one of our recent clients driving over 4,000 followers in the last 30 days. So we know what we're talking about and we know that it works. Now, let's kick off with the core challenge, which is really the fact that these premium buyers, they need to have more trust, and actually building that requires a bit of a different approach. And part of the reason why it's a bit different here is the first thing is that the stakes are just higher, right? So when someone's investing 10K or 25 or 50K, because the stakes are higher, they're not really just buying a product, they're really making a significant financial commitment. And that means that they need in their own mind to be absolutely certain that you can actually deliver as the vendor. The second difference is that really the sales cycle tend to be longer, right? So sometimes high ticket buyers, they don't necessarily always buy after one conversation. Sometimes it requires 1, 2, 3, and they need multiple touch points, or you need to have built value with them in advance if there's to really be a chance of them closing on that first call. So they need to see your content repeatedly. They need to engage with your ideas, and then you start to build trust over time. And so because of that, the sales cycle can be extended. That then leads on to really the third difference, which is the fact that deeper relationships are required. So they need to really feel like they know you, like they can really trust your expertise and resonate with your approach and believe that you understand their specific challenges. And that requires a deeper level of really understanding in a relationship than for a low ticket sale, for example. And so the key is that you can't just sell high ticket based on only volume based metrics. You can't just immediately pitch in the DM or just run ads and instantly expect conversions. You need a strategy specifically designed for more premium types of clients, a strategy that actually builds trust, demonstrates exceptional value, and attracts perfect fit clients. So we'll walk through and break down these steps basically in the next 3 core strategies. So really the first strategy is to make sure that you're actually positioned for premium clients. So this is where you use your profile and your content to attract high ticket buyers while also repelling tire kickers and potential price shoppers. Now, this matters because when you position just in a generic matter, you end up attracting everyone, including people who can't actually afford your offer or people who aren't actually ready to invest at that level. But when you position yourself for more premium clients, you filter your audience and then you attract the right type of people while repelling the wrong type. So the framework for you is really the first step in doing this is to position your profile for premium buyers. So your profile should really immediately communicate that you work with premium clients and really deliver premium results. So an example formula for this could be, I help premium niche achieve premium outcome through your unique approach. So an example here, instead of just saying, for example, I help coaches grow their business, you could instead try, I help 7-figure coaches scale to 8 figures through strategic LinkedIn authority. That would be more of a case study relevant to if it was me, but you'd of course adjust that to be relevant to your type of offer. And you can see the difference here, right? The second headline, it really signals premium because it's targeting 7-figure coaches, which is a premium niche. It promises a premium outcome, which is scaling to 8 figures, and it positions your approach as strategic and unique. Now, within your About section on your LinkedIn profile, you also want to align that for high ticket as well. So you can use the problem solution proof framework, but focus on premium pain points and premium outcomes. So for example, when you call out the problem, you can call out a specific challenge that premium buyers face instead of just having generic problems listed there. Within the solution, you can explain your premium approach and make sure it doesn't feel like a commodity type of service. And then within proof, share premium results, right? So client transformations at the 10K plus level, for example. Now, the second step in this first strategy is then to create content that also signals premium. So your content should really demonstrate deep expertise. It should demonstrate strategic thinking and premium positioning, because premium content characteristics are going to include things like you're teaching more advanced concepts, not just beginner tactics. You're sharing more premium case studies, so clients who have invested 10K plus. More strategic thinking, so not just tactical tips, also strategic ones as well. And then more premium language, right? So using language around transformation, strategic, high level, premium, things of that nature. And then you've got the third step within this first strategy, which is to repel the tire kickers explicitly. So don't be afraid to signal that you work with premium clients, because this will actually filter out your audience. So an example here could be, I work exclusively with established coaches who are ready to scale to 7 figures, or my clients invest 25K because they're serious about transformation. Or you can even say, if you're looking for a low-level solution, I'm not the right fit. If you're looking for a strategic partner who delivers exceptional results, let's talk. So these are just some examples of the way that you could be thinking about that. So in practice, let's say you're a coach or a consultant and you were selling a 25K offer, your headline would then target premium buyers, your about section would share premium case studies, and then your content would teach more advanced strategies. And you then explicitly state that you work with clients who invest at a premium level. So now when someone lands on your profile or they read your content, they immediately know whether they're the right fit or not, and tire kickers will self-select themselves out, whereas premium buyers will then lean in. So that's really the first strategy. It's really to position yourself for premium. Now, the second strategy is to build trust through proof. So this is where you use your content to demonstrate value before the sales conversation even starts. And the reason this matters is because high ticket buyers need to see proof that you can actually deliver. They need to see case studies, results, transformations, and the more proof you can provide up front, the less selling you're actually going to have to do on the call. So really the framework for this is, in the first step, share premium case studies consistently. So make case studies a core part of your content strategy, share transformation, specific results, and before and after stories. So a framework you can use for this is that you can say in the before, you can describe the client's challenge before working with you. The solution would be then you explaining what you did to help them. And then the after would be sharing the specific result or transformation. On the investment side, you could potentially optionally mention the investment depending on the nature of your offer and some of the nuances in your segment. So an example could be, you could write this or frame this like, I recently worked with a coach who was stuck at 300K per year. She had a great offer, but no consistent lead flow. We implemented a strategic LinkedIn authority system, and within 6 months, she scaled to 750K per year, all from inbound LinkedIn leads. That's the power of strategic positioning. So you can see how that's framed. And again, you can adapt that to the nature of your offer and your market and segment. Now, the second step in this second strategy is to teach premium frameworks. So don't just share tips. Make sure that you actually teach frameworks that demonstrate strategic thinking and real deep expertise from you. And they really then should position you as someone who has a proven system. So examples could be the 3-step authority blueprint that I use with all of my 50K clients, or the exact framework that helped 12 clients scale to 7 figures, or the 4-phase system for building a $1 million LinkedIn presence. Again, these are relevant to me, but adapt them for yourself and your own offer. And then in the third step, use social proof strategically. So if you have them, leverage testimonials, screenshots, client wins in your featured section, in your post and in your DMs, right? And so you've got multiple different opportunities in which way you can leverage that. And so in practice, if you were selling this 25K offer, every week you would post a case study showing a client transformation. And then every other week you'd teach a premium framework. And then your featured section would be full of testimonials from clients who have invested at that premium level. So now when a prospect lands on your profile or they read your content, they see proof everywhere. And then they end up trusting you before the sales conversation has even started, right? Now, the third strategy is to nurture before you sell. So this is where you build deep relationships with prospects before you ever even mention your offer. And the reason that this matters is because high ticket buyers don't buy from strangers. They buy from people that they know, people they trust, and people that they believe can actually deliver. And building that level of trust really requires nurturing. It requires multiple touch points, sometimes over days, weeks, and months, right? And so here's the framework for you going about this. The first step is to identify high ticket prospects, because not everyone is a high ticket buyer. So you need to identify prospects who fit your premium criteria. So some of the signals might be that they have budget, they might be an established business or a senior role, or they got premium positioning in the market, or you know that they have a problem. So they're experiencing a specific challenge that you know that you solve. Or you might find that they're just engaged, so they're liking, they're commenting, things like that on your content. Now, the second step is to engage before you reach out. So before you send a DM, engage with their content potentially for a few days or a week or two. Make sure that you leave thoughtful, value-adding comments so you can get on their radar and start to build familiarity. And then the third step is to use the value first DM sequence. So when you do reach out, don't just pitch, actually lead with value and build the relationship. So the sequence could look like, in your first message is a value first opener. You'd reference something specific about them, ask about their challenge, just be curious, not pitchy. And there's no mention of your offer at this stage. So an example could be, hey, name, I've been following your content on topic and noticed you're focused on goal. I'm curious, what's been your biggest challenge with specific problem? Then in your second message, do you want to really deliver exceptional value? So acknowledge their response, then share a strategic insight, not a tip, a real insight. And then still, you're not pitching at this point. So an example here could be, thanks a lot for sharing that. Here's something that I've seen work really well for similar clients. And then you share the strategic insight. The key is, and then you would explain how it actually works, right? Now, in the third message, this is where you would deepen the relationship. So you want to continue the conversation, but this time ask a qualifying question to help you understand if they're actually a fit. And you want to position yourself as a strategic partner, not as a vendor. So an example here could be you then saying, that makes sense. I'm curious, have you considered strategic question? The reason I ask is that most people in niche overlook this, but it's often the difference between current state and desired future state, right? And so you can see how that's structured. And then in the fourth message, this is where you'd invite them to a call. So you can frame the call as a strategic conversation, not as a sales pitch, and make it about them, not about you, while maintaining that premium language and that premium feel. So an example of that fourth message could be, based on what you've shared, it sounds like you're at a critical inflection point. If it would be helpful, I'd be happy to jump on a 20-minute call just to map out what this could look like for you. No pitch, just a conversation. Here's a link if you're open to it, and then you'd insert your calendar link, right? So that's an example how you go about breaking that down. Now, on the fourth step of this third strategy, you'd want to continue nurturing even if they don't book. So not everyone will book immediately, but that's okay. Continue engaging with their content, continue providing value, and when they are ready, you'll find that they will reach out, right? So let's say that you identified a prospect who fits your criteria, you've engaged with them for a couple of weeks, and then you send that value first DM and they respond. You might then share a strategic insight, they'll engage, you ask a qualifying question, they answer, then you invite them to a call. Once they book the call and they're on the call, they're pretty much already sold, because you built all of this trust through the nurturing. And so that's why it's the third strategy, which is to nurture before you sell. So if we're to now put all of this together, the first strategy is to position for premium. So make sure that your headline is premium, your about section, all of your content, and then you want to repel those tire click kickers more explicitly. The second strategy is to build trust through proof. So share premium case studies, teach premium frameworks, and then use social proof strategically as well. The third strategy is to nurture before you sell. So identify those high ticket prospects, engage with them before you reach out, and then use the value first DM sequence, those 4 messages that I mentioned, and then continue nurturing them even if they don't book immediately, right? And so once you've gone about doing this, this is what it would look like in practice if you've got, let's say, a 25K offer. Your profile will have that premium headline, about section, and featured section. Every week through your content, you'd post a premium case study and teach an advanced framework, and then your content will signal deep expertise and premium positioning. In your outreach, you'd identify 5 high ticket prospects each week, engage with their content for a few days or a couple of weeks, and then you'd start sending out those value first DMs, build relationships, and over the course of the month, 2 to 3 of those prospects, if not more, will book strategy calls with you. And then for your sales calls, once they get on the call, you should find that they're already sold. They would have seen your proof, they'd trust your expertise, and they'll be much more ready to invest. Now, just to refresh on why really this works and why this matters is because it will filter your audience, because you're positioned for premium. You'll find that you'll have built much more trust with your audience and with the high ticket buyers that are in your now market. You'll find that you're much more positioned as a strategic partner and not just as a vendor, and then it will shorten sales cycles. And that's why it's a phenomenal approach to take. Now, with all of this said, because now you're going to be attracting more premium clients and you would have built more trust and have more sustainable clients over time, this is going to help you to really accelerate the growth of your business. And it's the same approach that I've leveraged. Now, if you do want to accelerate your time to result with this, including the positioning, the content, the relationship building, so you can focus on other aspects of the business, what you would need is a full LinkedIn media engine behind you, your company, and your brand that's designed for high ticket sales, a completely done for you system that's hands off so you can focus on other priorities in the business. So if you'd value getting a free breakdown of what that looks like, I want you to comment the word high ticket below on this video and I'll send you the free breakdown that has been behind my brand getting to 55,000 followers and our clients being able to consistently drive inbound leads for their business. Comment the word high ticket below and then I'll get a copy of the completely free breakdown sent out to you of what it looks like to have that full LinkedIn media engine behind you so you can continue to focus on other growth areas of the business. Now, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please do take a second to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one.